Here we are in the Rose Room toilet. My name is Richard Curtin, and this is Lady Bunny.
Hi, hello. I'm great. Glad to be back.
Welcome to Dallas, Texas, and you've been here quite a bit, haven't you?
Yeah, I love Dallas. I don't know why the Kennedys hated it so much.
You're really hysterical. You had a great time. You're here for Carnival, and so when are you coming back?
I have no idea. You know what? I am in Houston next weekend for a couple of gigs, and in Austin for Easter. So I'm actually in Florida and Texas a lot. I think they just identify with the fact that I am actually white trash from Tennessee, and I may live in New York City with all them fancy folk, but I am really not one of them. So,
You know, Madonna won't come here. Madonna will not come to Dallas because of George W. Bush. Do you have any animosity toward George W.?
well, I'm sorry that his library is late opening. They've only got 3 books in there, and he hadn't even finished coloring them yet. Well, of course I have animosity towards George W. Bush. I mean, even the Republican Party knew better than to bring him out during Mitt Romney's campaign. I mean, it is, widely said that he was one of the worst presidents. So thank you, Texas.
Well,
And your great governor right now. Yeah. Oh, my God. Really putting you guys on the map. Y'all get ready to secede?
well,
from the
actually,
union.
but last week they just struck down the ban on gay marriage in Texas, so it would make us about 20th. So we're not the last ones, and I am sure that Rick Perry is pissed.
I'm sure he is too, and that is great for Texans, but there's a lot of other things afoot. And what's really scary to me about the marriage things that are happening in the state senates in so many different, 17 states, I think, including D.C. now have gay marriage. But these are not just happening organically proposed by, majority of senators, let's ban gay marriage. These are conservative think tanks that are writing this legislation for these different states and working very closely with them and giving campaign contributions to them to push these laws. And some of them are responsible for crafting the Kill the Gays bill in Uganda, which all gays say, oh, that's awful. But you know what? On February 6th, Barack Obama spoke at that conservative think tank, the Family's annual prayer breakfast or national prayer breakfast. Every president has done that since Kennedy's day, and people were upset that Rick Warren was at Obama's inauguration, the fundamentalist preacher. Right. At least he's not crafting kill the gays legislation to and I'm sorry, I live in New York, maybe it's a Broadway mentality, but I think they're trying that out in Uganda for a U.S. run. And, I don't really even think that this is what the people want, as Jan Brewer from Arizona, that witch, that dried out evil witch.
However, did veto it. And
she did veto it, but you see, this is a way of getting that word out there, and it's really,
it's spreading the venom.
At the same time, Republicans are also, saying that, some Republicans are saying we don't mind gay marriage because times are changing. And as the great Bill Maher said, opponents of gay marriage are like fans of the Beach Boys. They're literally dying out. So, but it is distressing to know that our laws are not even coming from a place of, there was a ridiculous law in Oklahoma that said we will never have Sharia law, which is the Muslim code, as the law of Oklahoma. And it's like, no one ever proposed that. So they're doing these preemptive measures against gay marriage just to say, hey, you may have think you've come a long way with all these other states and with Ellen and RuPaul, on TV. But we're here to tell you, and I'm going to tell you something else. They are playing the fundamentalists. because the two hot button issue for religious fundamentalists are abortion and anti-gay marriage. And so the Republicans, they don't even really care about it. They care about keeping the rich rich. But they hit these hot button issues where it's just like, if you say you're against gay marriage, I'll vote for you. Here's the thing that people do not realize. The Democrats play gays the same way. They play Jewish community the same way because they vote in a block. And what we've got to realize is that Obama did not have an epiphany about gay marriage. He saw poll numbers. He's a politician. Where is the only real across the board support for abortion, for gay marriage, for stopping these voter ID laws, which make it harder for seniors, people of color, and students who don't have ID, as I didn't. People are always asking me, who doesn't have an ID? Well, you know what? I was one of the people. If you want to call me white trash, go right ahead. But yes, I didn't have one, so I wouldn't have been able to vote. So I'm one of those people, and it's just there is something afoot to really keep. It's just to return to the old ways, and it's just like we get caught up with these hot button issues, and I don't think that we really see that both parties pretty much preserve the fact that the rich are paying less taxes than ever, that we're sending jobs overseas, and that congressmen vote for wars that they don't send their kids to. So this is, if you want to evaluate the job that George Bush or President Obama does, let me tell you what the job of the U.S. president is. You may not realize this. Start as many wars as you can, because the people who make bombs and artillery give him a lot of money. Make sure that 1/4 of corporations pay zero taxes. And I'm talking about huge, huge taxes. That is the job. And keep the rich. Obama said when he was campaigning, I'm going to make everyone who makes $250,000 and above pay higher taxes. Gets into office and immediately changes it to, $450,000 and up. So both parties are kind of doing the same thing. Absolutely. The only people that support real change and gay rights, abortion, and blacks, seniors, people's right to vote. I mean, just equal rights across the board. Transgender people, no discrimination in housing, are liberals and progressive liberals. So we've got to be progressive. And it's so easy to just say, oh, no, I'm just going to vote for Hillary because it would be cool to have a woman. Hillary is worse than Obama. She voted for the Iraq War. At least he had the sense to not do that. I don't know if you meant for this to be a political diatribe, but I think that.
I think it's fantastic. Not only are you a comedian, but you're an economic teacher and
economically challenged.
and you really are spreading your words really everywhere you go. You do interviews everywhere, and I think it's really important for you to do it.
Well, I was never interested in politics as a younger person. And, because you're trying to find out, how do I fit into the world? Right. Who am I? But when you get a little bit older and you've seen a few things, and I haven't gotten just a little bit older, I've gotten a lot older. Don't shut up, you bitch. You start to think, well, let me try to make sense of this. And, you can always be someone that's older that's like shaking your fist like in my day, but I always listened to older people, and I think that they've got a lot to say, and because they've been on this earth longer. So,
and how can we follow you and hear everything that you've got to say?
I'm on Twitter, LadyBunny77, and my Facebook page is, even though I'm blocked at the moment, is Lady Bunny Forever. And I have a blog at ladybunny.net. I wanted ladybunny.com, but some prostitute porn star got the site, but my mom's doing pretty well with her site, so I guess I'll get that money in the will if she'd hurry up and die. Love you, Mom.
This has been a Rose Room Toilet Economic Education featuring Our teacher, Lady Bunny, you were one funny hoe.
Thank you, darling. What a great place to come and see a show. They're all like seated and just like so, the huge stage and the gorgeous backdrop.
And did you see how many people came to see you?
Something tells me they're always here, but thank you.
We've been trying to get you here for years, and I'm glad that we finally got it to happen. Lady Bunny in Dallas, Texas, in the Rose Room and the Rose Room toilet interview. Thank you very much for coming to Dallas, and thanks for talking with me.
My pleasure. They'll flush that toilet again, as we say.
Thank you, guys, and thank you again, Lady Bunny. There it is, a Rose Room toilet interview going down the toilet with Lady Bunny.